SMT Nation, We Back Nation. We kind of have sort of an update about T-Mobile and SpaceX with the Starlink service. I know a lot of people have been asking for updates. We haven't really had many details come out since the initial, I don't know, what would you guys call that, frat party between Elon and Mike Sievert. But the details and elaboration since then have been sparing. We haven't really heard anything. But the last I checked, in terms of the most recent news, was that there are some developments happening and things are going to have to start kind of coming together here, or else T-Mobile's going to run out of time. So let's discuss those things here out of this article. It's from ubergizmo.com. I'll be sure to link it for you in the description. And if you want to support the channel, ways to do that also in the description. Okay, so in this whole concept of using, a cellular network, there are locations, particular spots, where getting cellular coverage through terrestrial cell tower sites is damn near impossible. You got mountain ranges, you got enormous hills, you've got all types of topography difficulties. Sometimes return on investment is hard to get by. You got to trying to put a cell tower in the middle of nowhere where some cell towers don't even get connected to all day. So you got trucks and driving routes, but maybe a few customers connect to it, So it's difficult to build possibly $1 million investment when it's not going to return it. But anyways, you can see the reason for a satellite connection, at least as a backup for something like calling or texting in these types of remote areas. So that's really what T-Mobile's trying to do, right? Leverage the SpaceX Starlink network, give them some of their spectrum and just tell them, hey, we want to get our devices connected. Messaging, calls, maybe emergency responses, maybe some light data at some point, but that's all there, right? Now, in order to do this, it's no easy task. The gear has to be enabled on the, on the satellites. You need spectrum and all this. There's technical testing that has to happen. There's experiments, there's data collection, there's, beta testing, and I think that's what's the next phase. Now, T-Mobile is pressed up against it. If they're going to launch this within an indicated time frame that they've wanted to, and they've got a certain expiration that they've got to meet with the FCC. So the network beta, we'll call it, is scheduled to start at the end of this year. Okay, so I don't know if that means November. I don't know if it means December. It just says launch by the end of 2023. Who is part of the beta? I have no clue. I don't know. I don't know if that's going to be beta testing on consumer type access. Is it going to be, through iPhones? Is it going to be through Galaxies? Which devices? Pixels? I don't know. Usually with these types of things, it's Galaxies. So I'm assuming maybe possibly, the model year Galaxy or the previous year Galaxy. But SpaceX will be deploying additional satellites and set to launch during this year, during this quarter, I believe. And those might be the ones that are going to be utilized for this particular deployment. Okay, so there's your update, right? There is something that we've been looking for, some development. T-Mobile's been mum's the word. We haven't really heard anything. We've heard some action out of, Amazon and Verizon. We've heard much more out of AST and AT&T. So it looks like these wars, we'll call them the satellite wars with cellular, starting to heat up a little bit. We're getting some action. There's more updates that we're going to require when the beta happens, who gets to connect and test the beta, and what it looks like in real-world usage. Stay tuned for more as we cover this developing story. But comment down below. Tell me what you guys think about this development. Do you think the beta is going to go well? Do you think T-Mobile's going to hit their mark with SpaceX and Starlink? Do you think this is going to be a failure? Do you think it's never going to be any good? Do you think it's going to be serviceable? Let me know. Sound off in the comment section. You are the voice of the people, the SMT Nation. Let your voice be heard.